15, 16 years. I've only been hosting for not even 3 years. Most everybody who K-Rock has played over the years, and you're certainly in the top 5 of who K-Rock's been playing over the years in their existence, has been through this studio.
Yeah.
And people at home had no business coming in here have been in here, too,
yes.
Myself included. But Howard has never been through here, and I'm wondering why.
I just couldn't have been in the right place at the right time, I guess. But I'm very, very pleased to be here tonight.
I must hate him.
Yeah, it couldn't be us. Howard, how many? And we'll get into the new stuff in a second. But how many records would you reckon you've sold?
About 7 million or something like that.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
And now Howard Jones, to me, I grew up listening to K-Rock, or I shouldn't say grew up, but started listening when they hit the air. Probably late 70s, early 80s. And Howard Jones, in my recollection, came in early, mid-80s. I don't remember him from 79 and 81 and 82, but it was more of 83, 84. But you tell us, fill us in.
Yeah, well, one of the things about being an Englishman was that it always seemed to me really important to do well in America.
It did.
Yeah. Always.
See, we don't care about England over here.
Yeah. No, but
we'd rather do well in Wisconsin.
No, and it was always like a dream to play Madison Square Garden, that kind of thing. You know, you always felt that. So right from the beginning, I came and toured here. You know, started playing the clubs and supported Joe Jackson on the first tour, and supported Eurythmics, and then started doing my own tours.
It must have been a good tour with Joe Jackson. What year was that?
That was '84.
Oh, so he'd been around for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah, that's right. And I was amazed because he used to tell the audience to F off.
Right.
And stop clapping. You know, like if they were clapping in time, he would say, "Look, if I'd wanted you to clap, I wouldn't have had a drummer," and stuff like that. So I thought that was quite. And you know, the audience would take it quite well to start with, and then they'd kind of think, "Hang on a minute, he's just, he's insulting us." But that's Joe, though.
I've never seen Joe Jackson. I was a huge fan of his earlier work, especially "I'm the Man" and "Look Sharp." I thought those were great albums.
Yeah, and great artist.
Then he branched off into other stuff that was sort of cool but different later on. But I heard from a few people that saw him that it was you walked out of there a couple feet shorter. If you wanted that kind of abuse, you would have went back to your drunken stepfather. But now you're touring around. You just finished, actually, an East Coast tour, Howard was telling me, with Culture Club and Human League. Now, Culture Club I've been seeing on, I guess it's VH1, doing the whole remake thing. Yeah. And Boy George looks better than he ever did. He's like a beautiful black woman. He just hasn't aged a day. I don't know if it's all the eyeliner or what. But Human League I haven't seen.
Yeah, they haven't toured for 10 years, so that was quite an event to see them out on tour. And they were great. It was a great tour, really fantastic. You know, an amazing reception from people. People were just like screaming and stuff. Stage invasions.
Now, was back 15 years ago now, when K-Rock was playing the hell out of Howard Jones, were you getting that kind of airplay in the East Coast of this country too, or are you aware of that?
Yeah, well, in places like Long Island and...
It lagged about 3 years. I remember going back there then and thinking, ooh, this is still lagging behind. Right around then, I actually traveled in New York. I remember thinking that.
Right, and the Midwest was probably...
They're just listening to it right now.
Yeah. There's this new guy named Howard Jones. And so you had some time off, and you came back with people.
Yeah.
And toured the East Coast, and now you're going to fire up and do the West Coast or the Midwest.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't actually got the dates lined up yet, but we will definitely be doing it, either with Culture Club or our own dates.
And what's your life like back in England? You got a studio in your castle?
Yeah, I've got a studio, which I built in the mid '80s because I really wanted to make records regardless of what was happening, with record companies, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it was one of the best things I ever did. And I've started my own label now, and I've signed a band from Bristol that have got their first single out coming out in a few weeks. And so it's like pretty hectic, really, very busy. I like things to be busy.
Do you like to mix it up? I mean, do you like to perform and do you like to produce, or is there one you like better? Has it changed over the years?
No, I just like to do all aspects of making music. I love touring. I love making records, and I love like working with other people and helping them get their music right as well. And I've been going to this place in France, a castle in France that Miles Copeland owns. Mm-hmm. And what he does, he invites like 24 songwriters to go and stay in the castle for a week. And you write in groups of 3 every day, and then record the song in the afternoon, and then play it to everybody at dinner at night. And it's the most incredible experience you can have as a musician and a songwriter.
I don't know who got the whole, and I think it was maybe Led Zeppelin who got that whole let's record in a castle thing kicked off. But somebody started it, and everyone decided it was a good idea. Here you go to some bunker in North Hollywood, and you dodge gunfire, and you go into some little cindercrete bunker, and you do your records. But there's no castles around here to do anything with, unless maybe you could go out to this place called Medieval Times. But, I don't think it's a real castle.
Actually, mentioning Led Zeppelin, I heard a really great Led Zeppelin touring story while I was out on tour, and it involved them actually bringing a plane down, because they started throwing food on the plane, and the whole plane got covered in food, all these old ladies and kids and the whole thing, and they actually had to divert the plane and bring it down. Yeah. It doesn't happen in rock and roll anymore.
No,
the old days.
You know, I think Led Zeppelin ruined it, not only for a lot of bands that came in behind them, but just a lot of people who fly in general, because you can't crap on a serving tray anymore. You can't be drunk and belligerent. You can't do anything. Drew, let me ask you this. Do you think the altitude, because we're discussing this, and booze, do you have is it a greater effect you drinking a couple Bloody Marys up at 30,000 feet than it is you in the airport?
Probably a little bit.
But not much?
Not a lot, no.
Okay. Thanks for really underscoring that point for me. All right, Howard, we'll hear something off the new CD People. You can jump in on these calls. Right. Meanwhile, we'll get to it all. Kevin.
Yeah.
You're 26.
So I met this girl, and I was going out with her for about 4 months, and I really liked her, and she had all the characteristics that I'd always had a hard time finding, like assertiveness, beauty, all the good stuff. And after about 4 months, after about 2.5 months, we started having sex, and her sex drive was just totally voracious, and I started having difficulty keeping up, 3 times a day, blah, blah. Finally, I decided that we had to kind of curb this and get it to some kind of a manageable level, or this wouldn't last. So a couple of times I refused to have sex, or I didn't feel like it, and one night she took it really hard, and I began to ask her what the problem was, and one thing led to another. Eventually she confessed that she used to be a man, and that she's gone through surgery, and that's what I've been with all that time. My question is,
when did you go through the surgery?
When did you throw your folding chair at her?
I didn't. I mean, the timing was just bizarre. It was around 2 in the morning. I was dead tired from having a really long day. I mean, I was too tired to have sex, so all it did was just, make me devastated and tired.
How old was she when she had this operation?
22.
How old is she now?
22. She apparently had it, I was the first man she was with. That was one of the reasons she explained why she was so much into having sex, because I was the first man she was with.
Drew, do they sew hymen in there when they do that?
No.
No, so there's no kind of christening of the vagina.
Multi-stage procedure. Takes more than...
Yeah, in fact, during our relationship, she had the last part of the surgery, which she explained. She explained to me exactly what that last surgery was, but it only involved some touching up and,
So since she has divulged this to you, she had some more surgery?
No, she hasn't.
All right, why didn't you wonder? Didn't you wonder why she was having surgery?
Yeah, well, basically, she told me it was to bring the skin down, because she said she didn't have much of a clitoral hood, and the whole point of it was to bring that down.
But women don't go do that. I mean, wouldn't you wonder why she was doing that?
I mean, she explained to me she wasn't comfortable with it. That was her explanation.
All right, hold on a second. We're having a little communication problem. I think
you understand what I'm asking.
Yeah. And you got to understand, Kevin's a guy who was with a guy and didn't know it was previously a guy.
Right.
So Kevin's a little thick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can tell just by the way, a person breaks wind, whether it's a guy or a girl. I'm like an Indian. You know what I mean? When they put their ear down to the tracks and I can tell if the train's coming. That's how I am with the penis and the vagina. But
even the penis in there.
Right. Yeah. But Kevin, I can somehow feel the remnant aura of the penis. Now, Kevin's not a guy who picks up on things real easily. Maybe she was just convincing.
But you want to ask the question again that I was asking?
The question, Kevin, that Drew is asking, we're working on a timeline here.
Yeah.
Was there any procedure that she underwent before you knew she was a he-she thing?
Yes, it was the clitoral hood enhancement.
Right, and didn't that then tip you off?
Not really. I mean, all the procedures before that were rather good. Everything looked pretty good to me.
I know, but the fact that she said, I'm going to go get this procedure done, didn't that raise any questions in your mind before you knew?
No, it seemed just like a nose job, you know? She said she was uncomfortable with it. She's really beautiful.
So she said, I'm going to have the hood on my clitoris extended, and you said, knock yourself out.
Well, I hadn't actually seen anything before that.
Right.
We had not been intimate prior to that surgery.
All right. What do you want to do here? I mean, the real issue here, I guess, is it sort of challenges your sense of gender identity, and there are not going to be any children if there were a relationship that you were going to see through.
Yeah.
What's your question for us?
Well, when I was young, my parents got divorced when I was like 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
So I was raised effectively without a mother.
Yeah.
And I was curious, to what extent is that, affecting. Yeah, like you said, you often recommend reflecting this upon.
Oh yeah, listen, major abandonment kinds of issues, and what a better way to not risk abandonment by a woman than be with a man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
hold on, let me defend you for a second, Kevin. If you got to be with a man, one with a vagina and some breasts is the way to go.
Yeah, I had no indication though. Honestly, I had no indication. I'm really not thick. I'm a little bit nervous for being on air.
What have your relationships been like in the past?
Not terribly good. I mean, they all generally turn out to be with women who have issues and problems, drug problems.
Do you tend to objectify women?
No, I
tend to go and try to rescue them and save them?
That has been kind of a pattern. I've been trying very hard to avoid that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is just another similar kind of pattern going on here. This is somebody who's got some major issues that you were going in to try to
but Kevin,
work on with them.
That's not a deal breaker for you?
Well, as far as not having children and all that, I mean, it definitely...
Now, forget about that end of it. Let's just strictly talk about the emotional end of it. I guess for me, it'd be like if somebody... I found out that somebody had a prison record, and they, killed somebody.
Yeah.
And not that switching gender is tantamount to killing somebody, although you did sort of murder your penis, if you think about it. I don't know if you have a proper burial. I don't know if the DA is involved. But the point is let's just say I went out with someone and I found out I love this person. They turned out to be a great person, everything, and somehow I found out that they'd murdered somebody 10 years ago. Yeah. That might be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I understand.
Because it would smack of something up with them.
But that was my other question. Was her explanation was that she always felt like a woman. And what is this whole issue about a woman's brain being stuck in a man's body? Is that legitimate, or is that?
Yes, it's nonsense.
It's nonsense.
He was born with XY chromosomes. There are people that are born with XY chromosomes and can't respond to the testosterone and develop female form. But XY is XY.
Okay.
And the psychological aspects of gender identification. Well, maybe people want to cling to those notions. I'm no expert in that area, but to me, it.
As I've said many a time, and I'll address this toward our guest Howard. And here, I don't know how much of this nonsense goes on in England, but here, just about every third person gets a sex change. We all rotate. Guy came to my house the other day, told me it was time to become a woman. I was scared assless. But the point is the thing that I find ironic about this whole procedure is if you, Howard, decided that you in fact want to become a woman at this stage in your life, we would let you start taking the estrogen, and we'd get you. You could start. You could pluck your eyelashes. You could start all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't actually cut off the Johnson until you had a psychological evaluation. We'd want to look at you for about a year and have a therapist work with you and make sure that you're completely insane before you agreed to have your penis cut off.
Completely sane. Completely sane.
Completely sane, pardon me. And my feeling is isn't that almost the definition of insanity?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, for me, it's like probably is Kevin is upset because, you know, he wasn't told this, and so
Right.
there wasn't the honesty going on.
Right.
Is that really what bothers him?
I don't know, Kevin. Is that an issue?
I mean, because obviously you did enjoy the sex and the relationship, so, you know.
Yeah, the honesty issue I figured I could deal with, but I mean, you know, as Dr. Drew says, the whole woman brain, male body's nonsense. That's what I was curious about.
But,
He's got the man brain. That's why you're getting laid 3 times a day. He's probably on the phone telling his buddies, telling her buddies he got laid and wants you to no cuddle time, right?
But if she had told you, you know, beforehand what she'd just done, would that have changed your view? I mean, would you still have gone ahead?
No, I would not have. But,
Why?
Probably because of my phobias. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering about. Is that the way I've been socialized, or is it legitimate, or what?
Kevin, I think that somebody who changes their gender is inherently flawed. And I don't mean from a biblical way, or I just mean emotionally. There's something up. There's issues. Oh, man, are there issues.
Yeah, man, I've dealt with a number of sex change patients, and
we dated one for 6 months.
Most of them, the males that become females to have lesbian relationships. It's positively bizarre.
Yeah, you get that as it is.
I mean, that's just another way of being, isn't it? It's not. I wouldn't say flawed. It's just another way of existing.
Pick up the phone.
Yeah, I'm going with flawed. I know you don't want to pass judgment, Howard, but I do. It's my job. Jen?
Tell me about this.
Jen?
You're 15. Jen?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My question is for Dr. Drew.
Yeah?
Who am I talking to right now?
Drew and Adam.
Huh?
We're here.
Am I
talking
to you?
Huh?
What's that, Jen?
Hey, Jen?
Yeah, hello?
How you doing in school?
Okay. Why?
I'm just making some conversation. All right, have you gathered yourself?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little nervous though.
Okay.
Like, my problem is that, it's for Dr. Drew, right?
Yeah.
Is that, well, like, lately, my, bowel movement has been, like, green. Like my, you know.
Like chartreuse, like bright green.
Not bright, like, dark, actually.
Dark green.
And, like, it's been like that before a couple times. Well, I was wondering if it could, have anything to do with, like, smoking pot. Because, like, I was thinking back to, like, the times that, like, it's happened. And it's, like, the times that I've done it, like, a lot. Like, more than usual.
Turn green.
Do you smoke pot every day?
Huh?
Do you smoke pot every day?
Oh, no. But, like, the times that it did, it was, like, because I did, like, 3 or 4 times. Like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Here's my hypothesis. It's indirectly related to the marijuana. Because the marijuana itself did not turn the bowel movement green. It was you deciding it was a good idea to eat the chia pet once you got good and baked that turned the bowels green. Could it be all the junk that you eat? The apple-flavored, green-appled Mike and Ike's or whatever it is you'd consumed once you were stoned?
Right.
The only
Jen, don't smoke pot.
Here's the thing, Jen.
Believe me, you're gonna slow down to a complete halt.
Jen, 2 things. One is that there's been overwhelming evidence that your brain will shrink from smoking pot, particularly before the age of 15, or 15 and younger. Only a year of pot smoking.
If I shook Jen's brain, I'd get that paint can sound already. So let's not shrink it anymore.
The only thing I've ever heard of that turns the stool green is chlorine from pools. Sometimes they'll do that.
Interesting. Jen,
Hello?
you drinking out of the pool?
No.
No.
I don't swim. I mean, like, I don't go to the pool.
You don't go to the pool?
No.
So it's not the chlorine?
No.
And
I mean, could it be, like, anything else?
Nothing you should be concerned with. You have a much, much, much more serious problem with this marijuana. Do you understand?
I mean, I really don't smoke that much.
Okay.
I really just smoke once in a while, but, like, every once in a while I'll do it, like a lot.
Even if it's once in a while, it is vastly more serious than the color of your stool. I guarantee it. If you're so worried about your health that you're examining the stool with a jeweler's loop, there's some other bigger stuff to worry about here.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's an instinct that we examine our stools? I mean, don't you think that's inbred?
There's a little bit of that, but
you know what
you're
I'm
supposed
saying?
to outgrow it at about 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what about
Adam.
me when I do like a victory dance
And
every
say
time
bye-bye
I
to the
make?
stools, you flush it?
Wait, bye. I cry and wave like when a ship's pulling out of port. I named my last one. Are you kidding?
The theory is that at a certain age in childhood, you think the stool is sort of a part of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now you realize it's just a part of a cow that passed through you, or a part of a plant, or
outside. Not a part. It's outside of yourself. It's totally outside.
All right, Howard. Tell me if you try to make Howard understand this retarded concept. Drew says that there's certain parts that are inside of your body, and certain parts that are outside of your body, and the whole bowel mechanism is outside of your body.
Anything that connects your mouth and goes through your anus is outside your body. It's filled with bacteria and things that would instantly cause massive infection if it were in your body.
Oh, right.
It's outside. It's a tube that runs down the middle of your body, basically.
Right. And it's outside except for the part about it running right through the middle of your body.
Right.
Other than that, it's outside.
It's on the interior, but it's not within. It's not a part of your body.
All right. And that's why, but urine is, right?
Urine is.
Urine's inside.
It's sterile.
So that's why you can drink urine, but you can't eat poo. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Because that's
good to know.
People eat poo, too.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Like who?
It's called coprophagia.
Yeah, but besides a handful of Frenchmen, who really does this?
Autistic kids and things.
Oh, right, but Drew, that doesn't count. They don't know what they're doing. Looks like a big fudgicle to them.
You didn't specify.
All right. Howard, have you had enough of this?
No, it's great. It's great to know about the tube. So the body absorbs what it wants from that tube that's running down the middle of your body.
That's right, and everything else goes out.
Right. But, Drew, you think as an adult, the fact that I examine my bowels so closely
is just bizarre.
Really?
Yeah.
You know you do it.
No.
You don't?
No.
You don't give a little sniff, though? Just I think it, see...
But in Europe, they have these special toilets that kind of allow you to examine your excrement more. I had difficulty saying that, as you know.
They do?
Yeah. So it kind of floats. It's actually the shape of the bowl. Because it's a way of indicating your health, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
It isn't.
There's nothing to do with it.
Well, isn't it?
Surely,
No.
if there's bits of red stuff and
if there's blood in there, that's a different thing. That is something. If you have loose and that kind of thing, you need something. But for the most part, that's just waste. This is waste.
All right, listen, Howard.
Nothing.
We'll go to break in 1 second, but I just got to finish the Dookie talk.
Sure.
I've said to Drew, I make like 4 or 5 times a day. I mean, I swear sometimes I crap, and then I get in my car and I drive down the hill and I crap at a filling station, and then I pull ahead another 20 feet and I crap at a construction site. I leave it. Some people leave a trail of popcorn. They find out where they are. I leave feces as I travel. I have 4 or 5 movements a day. I think to me that makes that to me sounds healthy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Sounds healthy to me too, but it's different for everyone, isn't it?
To me, as a physician, it sounds bizarre.
Drew,
4 or 5.
Drew says I'm no more healthy than a guy who cramps once every 2 or 3 days.
Correct.
And I don't. I thought it doesn't make sense to me.
Why?
Because I crap a lot. That's why. Jackass. All right.
It must have made great ammunition then when you were in the poo wars.
All right, Drew. Let's not get into that.
That's right. We learned that.
Please don't embarrass me. Howard Jones is here, the legendary Howard Jones, and Drew, we're going to go make. And then we'll be back.
I'm Simon LeBron. And I'm Warren Cucurullo from Duran Duran. You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Mwah. Just for you.
Well, that is the Duran Duran. I'm sure you've spent your time around those guys.
Yeah, I've met them now and again.
And nice guys,
Yeah,
I've found.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Nice chaps.
We've had them on this show maybe 2, 3 times. Were they on the TV?
John Taylor was. The very first TV show.
Really?
The very first.
Jeez, I'm trying to block that from my
Yeah.
mind. Were you on that too?
Yeah, I think I was.
Must
That was the one
suck.
he leaned across to me and said, for Christ's sake, get it together.
Is that when I yelled at you?
Yeah.
Is that when you're having a nervous breakdown?
No.
Oh, that's why I told you to quit being so wooden.
Right.
I have these great conversations with Drew during the commercials of the TV show. If you want to know what we're talking about, I usually lean across and tell him to quit acting like a cigar store Indian.
What's scary is the same kind of crap still going on between us.
Yeah, that's all
We did
right.
Hollywood Squares the other day, and he leans over and goes, for God's sake, I'm going to kill you. What? Well, I don't know how to do this stuff.
No, you don't. You certainly don't.
It's your job.
16 years and you still don't know what you're doing. Howard Jones, legendary Howard Jones is here. The new CD is called People. It's been out for about a month and a week. And we're going to hear something off that. I'll tell you what, why don't we take a call and then we'll hear Howard's very special mix off of that. Karen.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, you're 24.
Yes, I am. Okay, my problem is that I had my guy friend stay at my apartment last night, and I let him sleep in my bed, and I took the floor, and I woke up in the middle of the night to hear him masturbating, and I was making noises to like maybe let him know that I was kind of awake, and it ended up going on for about an hour, but he sounded like he was asleep the whole time. Like his breathing was very regulated, and I was so surprised and shocked and everything. So after an hour, I just got up and went into my living room. And my question is a two-part question. First of all, I want to know, is it possible for a guy to masturbate while he's asleep?
I suppose it's possible.
It is possible?
Possible, but not likely.
And second, what do me and my roommates do? The three of us are platonic friends with him, and we're all outraged by this. We feel like he's crossed the line in our friendship by masturbating in my bed.
How do you know he's masturbating?
You could tell the sound. You could tell, and it was just like it was like on and off, like 10 minutes, and then he'd stop, and then 10 minutes, and then he'd stop, and it was the most bizarre thing.
It doesn't sound like masturbating even.
The sound that it was making.
Well, in the middle of the night, a guy would fall back asleep. You would think.
10 minutes, you stop, but then you go to the fridge, and you come back, then you start again, you watch a little TV.
Move around a lot.
Yeah.
He was just laying in my bed. And I was trying to make noise to let him know, I'm awake. And my roommate in the room didn't wake up.
I'm not totally sold on the fact that he was masturbating.
Well, it sounded like. What else could
give us see if you can replicate the sound, if you could.
Okay, it's like when you have ice cream in your mouth and you're like, kind of, and then a scratching sound, like a rubbing sound on if you like rub your leg, that's what it sounds like, and then like this like sticky kind of sound, and like your mouth can make.
But it was his mouth. I mean, people get very strange movement situations in their sleep, and they could have seizures and things. I mean, it could easily be a sleep phenomenon.
But then
have you scanned the crime area?
Yeah, I felt as he left, he had to go to work in the morning, and after he left, I checked my bed, and my bed was dry, but we checked his clothes. He left his dirty clothes here, and his underwear was like soaking wet, like he washed it or something. So we think he kept it in his pants.
Did he have his underwear on when he was doing this?
I guess, yeah. He fell asleep in his clothes, so I hope he did.
His clothes? That was all bizarre.
Well, why'd he go to bed in his clothes?
Because he didn't have any pajamas here.
Yeah, but you guys are good enough friends that he's sleeping over at your house.
Yeah, but he did. I don't know. He had like a pair of shorts on and his like undershirt.
Okay. See, this is a little bit confusing to us because, first off, it went on for an hour.
Yeah, that's weird.
Before I left.
And
it was in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And you were making all kinds of noises, like what were you doing? Like clearing your throat and stuff?
Yeah, I was like clearing my throat and going, like moving around a lot and everything.
I'd just like to know why he didn't sleep on the floor and you didn't have your bed.
Well, he had been sleeping over. He doesn't have a house right now, so he's been sleeping in our house for a couple of nights, and he had been sleeping on the floor, and I felt bad that he had been sleeping on the floor for like 4 days straight.
So do you think it's bad for people to masturbate?
No, but not in my house, in my bed. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, but
just a little bit of
all guys do it, but it's like he could have waited till he got in the shower in the morning,
Well, believe me, he peeled one off in the shower, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if he rattled a few off in the bed, he probably squeezed one off on the way to the shower, so don't fault him for that. But
well, it's a couple of things in that comment, too, but one is that she doesn't.
Oh, no. Karen?
What?
You don't masturbate. No, you're not a big fan of that.
No.
And
the two is it's sort of a violation. I mean,
yeah, I feel, and all three of us feel violated because it was in our house, and
no, please.
It's just inconsiderate.
Tell those nuns you're living with to relax. For Christ's sake, your roommate feels violated. Believe me, you're not the first person that lived in that apartment. And God knows what kind of ritualistic orgy was going on in that place before you moved in. Some sort of satanic sodomization ritual was going on there probably a day before you moved in. That's why they got to clean the carpet and the drapes. The sperm and whatever we were talking about before we went to break spread out all over the place.
This guy is otherwise a good friend, a good guy?
Yeah.
All right, give him another chance.
Well, hold on. I want to get to the bottom of Karen real fast.
Okay.
I know we're going on too long here.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't got a man?
No.
No. You're 24?
Uh-huh.
When'd you lose your virginity?
I'm still a virgin.
Ah, now we're starting to get somewhere. You religious gal?
Somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Your folks raise you in a religious environment?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're a little uptight, maybe?
No.
A little bit?
No.
I just guessed. All that stuff. What's the furthest you've been with a man?
Excuse me?
Just the other night when the guy was working. Have you been with a man in any kind of sexual way?
Recently?
Ever.
Ever, yes.
You have.
Uh-huh.
But you're not but you are a virgin.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And you're not dating anyone.
Not right now.
Do you want to sort of save yourself until you're married?
I want to save myself until I find somebody that I love. I haven't found anybody that I've loved yet.
Mm-hmm. All right. But wouldn't it be safe to say that you're a little bit uptight sexually because you're 24 and you're a virgin?
No.
No.
I think so.
That's just normal? Okay. All right. You sound a little uptight. Now, your roommates are, they're virgins too?
One of them is.
The outraged one.
Uh-huh. The outraged one's a virgin.
Well, the other one is pretty outraged also.
Uh-huh. And she's just going along to shut you two outraged ones up, believe me. Yeah, it's a crime. It's a real tragedy. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta get back to my vibrator. You ever seen anyone masturbating when you were younger?
No.
Did they ever violate you in any other way during your life?
Who?
Any other violations in your life that bothered you?
No.
No. Never woke up to see...
Just intrusive parents.
No, I've never even, walked in on my brother when I was younger or anything.
Okay. All right. So,
give him another chance.
Leave the guy alone. Just put him on the floor. And put some of that Visqueen down, that thick mill plastic, in case there's a problem. All right. Good luck getting the comforter off the top sheet. You got 3 roommates. Have two of them hold the sheet while you tie the comforter to the bumper of your car and peel out. I think you should be able to separate them that way. See, I got immediately that Karen was a little bit uptight.
Oh, yeah.
And she's 24 and still a virgin, which I don't... I don't want to pass too much judgment on her, but there's
wrong with that.
Believe me, she's uptight. You know the beauty about people who are uptight? Never think of themselves as uptight. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
They think of themselves as very easygoing and pretty hang loose.
Yeah.
But you can hear it in their voice in just the first few seconds you talk to them.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to, Mike, can we play this Howard Jones song?
We'd have to commercial.
No, let's just play it. We'll play it and then we'll go. Why don't we play it and then you send us the break? You want to do that, Mike? All right, this is off the new Howard Jones album.
Isn't that, Mike?
You just go make your phone calls and run to the candy machine. I'll take care of the show. We'll be back after a little Howard Jones. Hey, it's Loveline, kiddies, with Howard Jones. Dana Gould, the comedian, will be in here tomorrow night. Matchbox 20. Geez, I guess they're selling a few records. Will be in here on Thursday. But as I've said, tonight is Howard Jones night.
Can I just say about that last track that you played of mine?
Yes.
It's the first time that's ever been heard anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
It's a remix of the version on the album. And that's what's going to be the single, but it's the very first time that anybody's heard it. It's just cut like a couple of days ago.
Don't take this the wrong way, but why didn't you just mix it right the first time when you put it on the record?
Well, I tell you what, sometimes tracks, you just don't get them right. I mean, with a track like Everlasting Love, which was one of my biggest American hits, I actually recorded that 3 times before I got it right.
Oh, really?
And that did, yeah. It's like sometimes songs, it takes a while to get them right. And I always felt with the version on the album, it was a bit too complicated. It wasn't quite happening. But I couldn't, there was no time to get it right then.
And do you just sort of live with it and it sort of echoes in your head for a while and then it drags you back into the studio?
Yeah, exactly. And there's this nagging feeling at the back of your mind, like it's not quite right yet. And so this time, I think I have got it right.
Oh, that's the beauty about this show. We never have to go back. I mean, what's done is done. Isn't that great, Drew?
We don't even know what we've done.
That's true.
It doesn't rattle around.
No.
So, has anybody ever tried to sort of contact you outside the show? People who've called in.
You mean stop us in the street?
Yeah. that kind of thing? Get your private numbers and.
I'll tell you, we don't experience much of that. L.A. and you're a celebrity, so you must. But I don't know if you've noticed this or not. But living in L.A., people don't bother you in L.A.
Yeah.
When you travel outside of L.A., if you just go to St. Louis or Atlanta or something, people stop you all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe it's that they're friendlier, and maybe that it's a relative thing, in that in L.A. they're real celebrities around. They don't have to bother with me and Drew. But when we travel around, we do experience it. And I know that's not answering your question completely, but
I practice medicine every day, and I don't take anything from. In fact, that's why I originally never used my real name doing this.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, his real name is Gerald Fankowitz. No, he uses his first name, right?
Right.
Sort of. Robert.
Yeah.
You're 17.
Hey, how you doing? Well, right now my parents are fighting. My mom said she's going to leave. Says she's tired of me.
Is that her in the background?
No, that's the dog, but I'm in my room.
Tired of you what?
Excuse me?
Tired of you what?
Well, apparently to them, I'm a screw-up, fat-ass, lazy, everything.
To them?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of proud of myself because, I go to school every day. When I was a sophomore, I went to a JC, and I'm still going.
As a sophomore in high school, you went to a junior college?
Exactly.
What is her problem? What's the deal?
Well, I don't know. She's just really sick. Or not sick. Well, she's got a cerebellum disease.
Which one?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's a really long name.
A cerebellar degenerative disease where she can't move normally?
It eats away at her cerebellum.
Yeah, there's a number of those.
She's got 3 bulging discs in her back.
Was she an alcoholic?
No, she was the perfect housewife, She kind of had a rough start when she was a kid. Her parent beat her, Parents didn't care about her. Her stepdad beat her. She was raped when she was a little girl.
All right, so some of that's coming out now.
Yeah, and right now, it's just...
The reason I asked about the alcohol is cerebellar degeneration. Easy way to get that is drink a lot.
No, she hurt her back at work 2 years back, and that's...
All right, so Robert, where's your dad? They're getting a divorce?
No, I just heard them out there talking. She always threatens to leave. My dad threatened to kick me out tonight.
Why? What are you doing?
Well,
they try to stay in the specific. What are they saying is the issue?
They don't take this the wrong way, Robert, but I'm not coming over there for Thanksgiving. Okay. I've changed my plans now.
This morning, I didn't take the trash down the street. All right? We had some microwave food. I got called into work, so I put something in the microwave, I ate it, and I left. Apparently to them, they lock up the freezer because, I guess I go through everything they say. And apparently to them, they said they locked it up. They never did. It was open, so I grabbed something to eat real quick because I had to go to work, and I live 15 miles.
You have a history of doing things that they don't want you to do?
No. The biggest thing that I ever did was to screw up was I went to a show, it was all ages, and I told them I was going to see Titanic with some friends.
All right, hold on. Hey, Drew?
Yeah.
We're not going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
no,
Mom
please.
seems to be the...
No, I'm not hanging up. I'm not getting rid of you. I'm just going to give you some sage ask advice.
Well, they always hard on me.
All right,
People
okay.
tell me...
Mom's got a history here where there's some real stuff going on, and we're suspecting her more than you.
Mom was mean before she blew out a disc.
Well, before her brain began degenerating.
All right.
And God knows she may have enormous psychiatric symptoms just from that disease, let alone the fact that she has a history of abuse, profound abuse.
What are the chances of you actually, leaving
getting
home?
out.
You sound like a capable guy. You can start. Loads of people have done that at your age.
I can't afford it. I go to school. I go to high school. I go to JC. How am I going to work? I'm working as much as I can.
Can you
right now.
graduate early and get a...
Oh, forget about school. Just work.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
That's why you should forget about school and just work.
Yeah, if I do that, see, my dream is to be a firefighter, and that's what I'm taking right now.
You're a white guy?
Yeah, I'm a
Now
white
you're
guy.
screwed.
I know that.
You got about 20 years.
I want to move back to Chicago.
You'll be fighting fires in a diaper. If you sign up today, you'll be fighting fires. You'll have to have a shot of that Ensure before you enter the building. Believe me. Wait, where are you calling from?
Sacramento.
No, I don't know if they... Well, it's California. Yeah. You'll be a firefighter. 27 years. Meanwhile, I Eskimo chick. I signed up the week before. I'll be
I'm
in
on
there.
a volunteer firefighting department up here, and I'm almost guaranteed job in Rockland for a apprentice program.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Yeah, I don't understand why people have kids if they don't really want them. You know what I mean?
They act out their own ass on their kids. Whatever is left over gets put right on the kid.
All right. And when
but that's also part of the thing. You know, whatever your parents are, that's going to make you what you're going to be. And when you have to struggle against parents who are unreasonable and crazy and mad, can make you into the very successul, great person.
Well, here's. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go.
Sure.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I mean, it was brilliant, but are you done?
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I had this thought. It was so powerful that I had to interrupt. What was it?
We're listening.
It had something to do with number 2 again, I think. No. See, here's the problem with being a kid. Your world, but it's like your world first is in the womb, and then it's just in your mom's arms, and then it's your mom and your dad, and then your brother and your sister. But your world is sort of as big as your family from age 0 to whenever you get out there and realize there are things beyond your front door. But even then, it's nursery school, and then it's your grade school, and it's as far as you can get on your bicycle. So if your parents are both effing nuts, then that's your world. And that's all that exists.
Also, that's your sense of yourself.
Right. And if you go to school and you get D's, then you're stupid, right. And that's the world. Your high school, your junior high, your friends, your classroom, whatever it is, that is the size of your world until you can grow up. Now, you don't realize that outside of the classroom and outside of the house and outside of the family, you may be a very successful what have you. There are plenty of people that are out there that aren't going to treat you this way. There are women who will love you, or men who will love you, men and women who will love the same person oftentimes the same evening.
But then, of course, they go out there and they seek out the abusers, right? They reenact the parental relationships with their adult relationships.
But also there's this belief that there's a perfect world where everybody is free from pain and everybody, you know, and this is
none of our listeners believe that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people believe that that's the ideal life, where you have everything's great, you have loads of money, nothing ever goes wrong, you have a perfect partner.
I think there is this narcissistic sense of entitlement in our culture that leads people to believe that's the case, but
just not
our listeners don't.
Like that.
Our listeners have had that beaten out of them by their 5th birthday, unfortunately. And a guy like Robert, he works hard. He works hard at school, he works hard at work, he's got a solid head on his shoulder, and he's living in the vortex of this tornado, which is his family life. And Robert, you need to get out of the house. Forget about anything you have to do other than getting out of the house. And then once the voice is quiet down, you can move on and do whatever you want in life.
Mom may need some medication. I mean,
that's right. All right, we got to go to break.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm going to get my medication. We'll be back with Howard Jones.
Oh yeah, everybody now.
Loveline will be right back.
Alrighty. Hey, it's Loveline. Howard Jones is here. We're going to take our little 10-second top of the hour break, and then we'll be right back with Loveline.
This is Loveline on
radio
station. NRK Hemis, Portland, New Rock alternative. New Rock alternative. New Rock alternative. At 94.7 NRK.
All right, hold on. Mike and I have to take care of some business. Dooley, what'd you want? Oh, I don't know. Don't bother me with that crap.
Howard, what song do you want to do next?
Sorry?
What song would you like to do next?
Tomorrow Is Now.
Tomorrow Is
Please.
Now.
All right. We'll do that tomorrow. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LVE-191. Forget about the fax number. Howard Jones is here. And
hello.
Howard is, how many years have you been in the business?
Well, I've been making records since 83. So, what's that, 15?
Now, were you always, I only knew you as Howard Jones. Were you in other bands?
I was never in, only just very small local bands in school and stuff like that.
So it was just always, you're always on your own?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's smart.
Yeah, well, that's the way it went. I mean, I try now to work with lots of people. I think the way forward is to collaborate and work in teams and working with groups of people and not be isolated on your own, because if you're on your own, you've got no help and you don't have as much fun. So that's my policy now.
You hear that, Drew?
Yeah, your
So what
point.
happens when you're on your own?
Yeah.
You don't have a good time.
Right. So
All right.
you better stay with me then.
Just remember that. All right, ready to move forward?
Yeah.
Noreen.
Hi there.
Hey, you're 36.
I thought your advice for Robert was dead on right. He should get out of that situation. I did that when I was 13 years old. I left a really bad situation, and I'm the happiest girl. I went on to be a bank manager for 10 years with no formal education. Now I run my own photography business.
Wow.
And
That's great.
I'm a tiger because I was treated so badly when I was a child.
What was the situation?
I had parents that adopted me that didn't love me. This very thing you're saying, why do people adopt children that they don't really want?
Not even adopt.
Great
just,
question.
Not just adopt, but why do they have
Have
kids?
them, period, exactly.
Adopt is even worse.
Yeah.
I thought so,
it's more
too.
premeditated.
Because you filled out paperwork to get someone you didn't want.
I was a social baby. My mother was very social, so
What does that mean?
I think that, since everyone else had a child, she had to have one, too.
It wasn't some social statement like you were from some underprivileged country or
Oh,
something.
no. I'm an Irish girl.
Okay.
Do you have children yourself now?
No, I don't. No,
Is that a daunting
I pretty
prospect?
much, no, not at all. I'm just having so much fun. I travel around the world. I scuba dive. I play most of the time. I live my childhood now because I didn't have a chance to then.
What was happening then?
I had no voice. I was totally shut down. I read books for my only outlet of joy of any kind. I wasn't allowed to do anything, and I was mentally put under the gun by my mother very severely.
So how did you get the courage to actually leave home
Or the
at
wherewithal?
13?
You know what? I think it's
that's
from reading all
incredible.
those books.
What books?
I've read thousands of books of every different kind. Anything I can get my hands
God,
on.
if
How to forge a birth certificate,
No, but
stuff
listen,
like
if
that.
anybody wants an endorsement of why reading can be so important, I mean, you don't even
telling
have to
you.
go to school if you read well.
I saw life the way I wanted to live it, that other people were living it, and I said, this is wrong. I got to get out of here.
Yeah, that's my problem. I watch too much TV. I tried to run away to Gilligan's Island when I was 13.
Well, now I'm too busy living
Skipper
to
sent me
read as
back.
much as I used to. But it really helped me a lot, and that guy should really get out of that situation. Didn't he sound so sad?
No,
Yeah.
he did. And let me tell all you brainiacs something out there, and I swear this is true. Drew can't stand it when I deliver this message, but it's true. Everyone, your whole life, you grow up, and people are talking about education. You got to get that degree. Let me tell you the most important element that a human needs to be successful, and that is a strong work ethic.
I agree with that. I don't hate that.
When you
I agree with
work,
that.
you show me a guy who is willing to put in a good day, willing to stick it out, willing to bust his ass, and I'll show you someone who can overcome any hurdle. Now, if you're hell-bent on being a lawyer or you're hell-bent on being a doctor, there's going to have to be some education involved there. But most other facets of life, you can get the types of education that you need, but you don't have to be well-rounded when your mom's got a slip disc and she's coming after you with a rolling pin. You don't need that. You need to get a job. You need to get out of the house. You need to get on your feet.
But I really believe in a free society. People need to know how to use their mind and need to be able to read well. I really believe that. And it takes sometimes, extensive education before people get to the point that they can use their brain carefully, properly.
I don't know.
Not always. Some people listen. Noreen there was just already on board at 12.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
she did not need a lot more education, no doubt about it.
Right.
No, and just work ethic on its own isn't going to make you necessarily a happy, functional person.
Oh no, you'll be miserable, but you'll have car insurance. Ryan.
Hey, what's up?
You're 23.
I am. I just want to say I really like the show. I think you guys are great.
Thank you.
And Howard, are you going to be doing any touring with this album?
Well, I've just finished doing this big rewind tour with Culture Club and Human League, and there's talk of a second leg coming up for the West Coast, and we're just putting those dates together now. But so I hope to be touring right up till Christmas and then beyond.
Boy George had a hysterectomy, and they had to cancel a few dates.
You had some other question, Ryan?
Yeah, actually, I'm anemic, and I want to know if there's anything besides iron to take.
Well, anemia is really not a diagnosis, it's a symptom.
Right.
So you need to find out why you're anemic, what kind of anemia, what's the diagnosis, before you can even begin to discuss what the treatment is.
Does anemia just mean lack of iron?
No, anemia means a low blood count.
Right.
And one of the causes of anemia is iron deficiency, but a 23-year-old with iron deficiency has to be losing iron somehow.
Right.
A male. That means he's bleeding from somewhere, and then you need to figure out what that is and what that diagnosis is. I mean, people have a real weird sense about what treatments are. I mean, treatments are rendered in response to a diagnosis. You know, there's no diagnosis, no treatment.
Well, okay, when I was 12, the doctor told me that I needed to take iron. I don't know.
Then maybe you have a thalassemia. What's your ethnic background?
What do you mean?
Are you?
Hold on a second, Brainiac.
Are you African American?
Hold on, I'm not going to let that. You don't have to explain to him. Just ask the question again slowly.
What's your ethnic background?
I'm Caucasian.
From what part of wherever?
Germany.
Germany.
It's scary, but white people, at least in this country, we just think of ourselves like a blank piece of paper. Mexicans got Mexican writing on it. Black guy got black writing on it. Asian got Asian writing on it. White people, we just think of ourselves, well, we're not anything. People go, what are you? And you go,
I'm a mutt.
I'm like white. I don't know. Oh, what do you mean? I'm white.
Right, but there are all kinds of anemias that you can have your whole life that aren't going to respond at all to anything because it's just part of the way your blood cells are being produced normally by you. It's a genetic issue.
Okay.
So you need to see an internist and have a proper diagnosis.
Do you eat loads of vegetables and fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You do?
Yeah.
Drew, you're saying if you could be losing this blood...
You have
internally and absorbing it somehow?
No. If you're 23,
that's my theory. I'm going with that.
Your 23-year-old male becomes anemic. You pretty much, unless you are just a strict vegetarian and not paying any attention to your iron intake, even then it takes years to develop anemia that way. You are losing blood. 23-year-old is losing blood somehow.
Well, how do you lose blood?
But you have an ulcer or you have a
Well, that's what I said. You're bleeding inside yourself and absorbing it.
You're not absorbing it. It goes out in your stool. You're not absorbing. That's the whole point.
It
goes out.
You need those special toilets.
Right.
See?
But the fact is, he said...
Howard, my theory about examining the dookie with the cane wasn't such a crazy idea, was it?
That's when you need it.
Somebody mentioned that he was anemic when he was 12, which suggests he's had anemia his whole life, and that's a genetic issue, something like a thalassemia or something.
All right, what has iron in it other than liver?
Red meats. There are sort of, I think, dark green vegetables.
Yeah. What about beets?
You have to supplement.
So you look like you're losing a little blood when you drop one of those beet loads. Rocky.
Yeah, what's up?
You're 20.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I got a question. I've been seeing this girl for about 5 months, and she's 15 and I'm 20, and her parents don't quite like it because of the fact that she's 15, and so she's been sneaking over here, like just about every night. And they've been catching her and stuff, and they're trying to hold us back. But my question is...
Hold you back, they're going to have you arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've threatened to press charges and everything.
They will.
Yeah, I know. But she loves me, though. I love her.
Rocky? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves you?
Yeah.
Then you wait 3 years for her.
Yeah, I think Drew's daughter's enamored with me. Doesn't mean I'm going to sneak over to the house. As far as Drew knows.
I don't go see her. She comes and sees me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's different.
It's just this is the whole.
You're screwing her on your bed?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's different.
This is the issue that's sort of running around our country right now. Is Monica Lewinsky? It's her fault. You know, the fact is, people in positions of authority or who are older than another person who is as a minor are in the position to retain and establish the boundaries that protect the people who are in a position to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And the law are put in place to make sure people like you do that. So you don't harm the 15-year-old.
Nah.
Yeah, you are.
Where'd you meet her?
She lives right behind me. And I met her because she just popped her head over my fence, said hi one night, and came over.
Because she wants to do that doesn't mean that it's legal for you to do it, or that you should allow it to happen.
Oh, I know it's not legal, but I'm...
Or that you should allow it to happen. You're in the position, you're supposed to be the adult. She's a child. You're supposed to help her contain those behaviors.
Are you living at home?
Yeah.
What's up with you?
Well, I'm going to the Navy pretty soon here, but I don't know. I don't have a job, so I'm here all the time.
Right.
And she just came over one day and...
Stop blaming it on her. I'm really
Well, she came over. What do you want?
Yeah, I'm going to get angry about that.
Listen, hey, let me ask you something, Rocky.
Okay.
If her Frisbee flew over the fence, would you start humping it?
No.
Or just throw it back over?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you just pretend she's the Frisbee?
But
She's
it's hard
15, you're 20, you're going off to the Navy.
Yeah.
She's in the 10th grade, right?
Yeah.
She's going into the 10th grade?
Yeah.
You should be graduating college.
No, we shouldn't be graduating college.
I've
graduated college
only
at
been
20.
out for a year.
You did not.
21. I was 21.
Yes, that's right. You were a little early. It's back when college was easier. Now they have tests and everything. All right, Rocky?
Yeah.
You're shipping out soon.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of prostitutes for you to have sex with.
And wouldn't this potentially...
Coincidentally, they'll be underage too, but it'll be in a different land, so we won't care.
Wouldn't this jeopardize his position in the Navy too if something happens here?
It would seem that if you got some sort of statutory rape rap, that might slow down the induction process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocky, stop watching so much TV, would you? And quit smoking so much weed and go in the Navy. And don't kill yourself.
That's actually the reason why they didn't let me in the first time.
Smoking too much weed?
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Why
All
would
right.
those parents be upset? Such a cat.
Oh, they are upset. Rocky, listen, you're playing with fire. When do you ship out?
In October.
You ship out in a month.
Yeah.
All right, just hold off.
But she keeps coming over the fence.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Rocky. Rocky, I want you to kick your dad in the nuts for me. Somehow he's failed you. This wouldn't go on in England, would it?
No,
People said they're just smarter over there, aren't they?
no. It would go on. I mean,
don't-
that's difficult, isn't it? When you've got somebody coming round banging on your door.
Don't people in England make
I mean,
fun of
and
us?
it's like, and it depends, you know. I mean, some 15-year-olds can be very, very.
This is President Clinton's defense. It's like, hey, I was there.
Yeah.
She kept coming in. She kept coming in on me. And there's certain things in our society where people, being older, when you're dealing with children, being a manager when you're
Yeah, but, I
people,
mean,
or you're,
I think Howard wants to
but-
share a story.
but
Howard?
there's the 13-year-old, who's capable of leaving home and like completely starting her own life, and then so this girl's 15. She might be the same. She might have complete, adult sensibility.
Here-
and be in a position where she can make that decision.
There's an outside possibility that that's the correct scenario, but the more likely scenario is
she was sexually abused by her dad or beaten by her dad. Now she's going out and acting that out with Rocky. That's the more likely. You ask Rocky, he'll tell us what the deal is, but that's the usual scenario.
Yeah. You going with that, Drew?
Yeah. Want to bet on it?
You really? She won't know. Rocky doesn't know.
He might.
He just
Probably
knows somebody hopped the fence. See, he probably tried to hump the cable guy when he came over to reattach that. And her parents are pissed, by the way. Hey, Rocky?
Yeah.
Is there? Did she have any abuse or anything?
Not as far as I know. Oh, she was raped one time.
No,
by her parents.
by who?
Not by her parents. It was
Yeah.
by somebody else.
I understand, but
uncle?
It's the people that are...
How old was she?
This was like 2 years ago. She's probably about...
She's 11, 13.
Who raped her?
A guy that she went to a party with.
Right.
Right.
guarantee
Okay.
there
There's
was
something
stuff
going on.
before that,
Okay.
too, so.
See, we're always right. And now I'm going with Drew.
Yeah, that's good.
It's sad, but it's true.
Dr. Drew is right.
So essentially, these people that you think are these free spirits, they're essentially victims.
They're disturbed. They're victims, and these guys are just perpetuating the victimization, and they're committing them to a life of this.
Right.
And somebody has to stop it because they can't contain themselves.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they got a higher fence. Lane,
Hi, guys.
you're 15.
Yeah. I had a question for Dr. Drew.
Lane,
And when I get home now, I'm gonna try hopping over my back wall to see if I can get laid real quick.
the neighbor boy's over there.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's gonna be disaster. Oh my God. I'll come in crying tomorrow if I run into him. Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. My question was, I have like a little zit type thing outside of my penis. I don't.
That is your penis.
That is a zit.
Oh, thanks, man. No, it's not a zit though. I mean, it's. I know it's not a zit though. It's different. It's not like white or pussy or anything. And it's not something you can pop.
Yeah.
As hell has it been there?
I don't know. I noticed it like probably about a week ago.
Is it coming to a head at all? Does it seem to be?
What did you say?
Does it seem to be coming to a head at all?
What do you mean?
To getting
Oh,
like,
for
like
Christ's
a zit
sake!
ball. He's
Hold on.
15.
No, I don't care how old he is. Well, I swear to God, I'm about to wash my hands with this whole show. Well, I'm going to recreate this. I want to recreate this conversation just at your expense for a second here, Lane. You called in. Okay, I'm going to play you, Lane.
All right, what's going on, Lane?
Wait, I'll put Lane on hold.
So he doesn't answer what
I got a bump on my penis. I got a bump on my penis. It's a bump. It looks like a zit.
How long's it been there?
I just noticed it was about a week ago.
Has it come to a head? Does it seem to be coming to a head? Does it seem to be coming to a head?
What do you mean? Didn't he bring up the whole zit scenario?
But he said it doesn't look like a zit.
All right, but you're using common zit terminology there with is it coming to a head? Lane?
No, it's not coming to a head.
It doesn't seem to be. Is it hurt or is it tender?
No.
It's just like a cyst, like a fluid-filled something under there that's just growing.
It's not fluid-filled. It's like it's hard almost. It's firm.
Yeah, it's one of those pearly penile papules, right?
No, it's not though, because I know what those are.
How big is it?
It's not one of those. It's about the size of a zit. It's not very big.
You get a doctor to take a look at it.
No, what do you mean? It's one of those little hard calcium things you get once in a while.
Right. It could be like a clotted vein. It could be something. You never know.
You get those things everywhere, don't you? It's kind of hard. It's kind of white, but it's not a head, and it feels you can't pop it.
What the hell are you talking about?
I got one on my eyelid somewhere, don't I? You see anything? No. Is there something?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. It's on my nutsack. Come here.
Well, could it be something like that or serious?
No, you're fine.
No, I wouldn't worry about it. But I mean, I would get it looked at for sure.
But I can't do that.
Why not?
I don't have access to a doctor.
You don't?
I mean, I'm not going to tell my parents about that.
Just tell them you have a rash.
He's going to have to see it.
The doctor is, yes.
My dad's my dad. He's extremely intrusive.
Your dad's going to ask to see it?
Oh, hell yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
He'll
refuse.
I'll pull out my wallet and he'll ask to look through it.
Well, the deal is, I do not feel comfortable trying to make a dermatologic assessment over the radio. That's why I always say, when it comes to skin, somebody's got to look at it, because our callers, as bad as they are listeners, they're much worse at describing skin lesions.
No kidding. All right, so his dad's going to want to see it?
What's that all about?
He
knows dad's intrusive, at least. He knows what that means, and he knows that's what he's dealing with.
Yeah, he had a little trouble to come to the head part, but he knows the intrusive policy of his father. Yeah. All right, then go on your own and go to one of these free clinics. I've done it before. It's humiliating, but it's all over with in an afternoon. Just go there, show it, they'll tell you it's nothing. I know it's one of those little calcium things, one of those little rock things. Do you know what I'm talking about, Drew?
Yeah, I kind of do, but there are a lot of things that can cause that sort of problem.
All right. Kara.
Hi.
You're 22.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Drew, Adam, Howard.
Hello.
I was thinking about going into therapy for anxieties and nervousness, and I'm just wondering what to expect and I guess how to go about getting into it.
She's got the little girl voice.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
But it's the more the perfectionist one. This is the
really?
This is the ballerina, the piano player, and the.
Now, some people read palms. We read voices.
Right. Yeah.
So all we do is hear people's voices all night long, and you can hear differences in their voices.
You can hear everything in their voice, can't you?
Well, let's see, Kara.
Yes.
All right, we're going to tell you all about it. We got to go to break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back. We're going to see if we can profile you just based on your squeaky voice.
I don't have a squeaky voice.
It's lovely.
There she goes.
No,
it's becoming.
But we are
becoming a nuisance. It's becoming. No, it's attractive. It really is. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. You know why? Because I like all the stuff that separates the men from the women. That's why I like the large breasts, Howard. I got to be honest. Because to me, that's more of what I don't got. See, here's what I got.
Yeah.
I got a lot of hair on my ass, so I like a woman without much hair on her ass. You know what I'm saying?
Not much.
I got a lot of hair on my beard, so I like a woman without a mustache. I have no breasts, so I like a lot of breasts.
Curly hair?
I got a deep nasally voice, so I like a light squeaky voice. I like straight long locks because I have short Brillo head hair. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to date me. I do enough of that. I want to date the antithesis of me.
You gotta skip the date, don't you, though? With yourself?
Yeah. I'm all business when it comes to myself. All right. Howard Jones is here. We'll be back. And we're going to hear something else off the new CD as well.
All right. Okay.
The phone number for Loveline is 1-800-LOVE-191.
Loveline. I'll be right back.
Hey, it's Adam Carolla, and that's Dr. Drew. And that's the order it belongs in, by the way.
Oh, they switched it around. That's what you were pissed off about.
You're damn right I'm pissed. Howard Jones is our guest. I'm pissed at him, too. I think he's taking a piss, actually. I was confused. No, I like Howard Jones. He's a real nice guy. Howard Jones, by the way, I've never met him before tonight, but Howard Jones is the kind of guy where you walk up to him, you know he's a nice guy about 10 seconds into it. You actually know he's a nice guy just walking up to him. Some people are that way. You know, it's like there's certain animals that are that way.
Right.
You're walking up to like a big black lab and his tail's wagging. It's wagging so hard that the dog's bending in the middle.
Right.
His ass is shaking. And you go, oh, that's a good dog.
Yeah.
That's how Howard Jones is. I mean, he's not black. He's not big. But not a lab. His ass does shake. No. You know he's a nice guy just walking up to him. He just has that. I don't know. It's just, I have this theory that people sort of start looking like what they are. Gay guys start looking real gay. And bigots start looking like bigots, and people that have a lot of hate, a lot of fear.
Yeah. And angry people attract fights. They always get in fights.
Right.
Yeah. You know, when excuse me while I eat my dinner, but, you know, I grew up with a bunch of these guys, and they got in a fight every weekend. Yeah. But it was always the same story. What happened? I don't know, man. I was at a bar. I was minding my own business. Yeah. What happened? But somehow they got into a fight. And starts mouthing up, you know. Meanwhile, there's other guys I know who've never gotten in a fight in the 10 years I've known them. Now, what's the difference? What's the factor? What's the through line?
The person.
Right. Yeah. Howard, you don't kick a lot of ass, do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I think that you're what you are creates your environment.
Right.
So, that's another way of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you're an angry person, you go around with anger in your eyes. You're looking for a fight, basically.
Right.
And you get fights.
And believe me, like I said, you start to look like what you are.
Yeah.
And that's how come now, in my mind, we no longer need the court system. I just need to see a picture of the guy. Guilty.
Hear their voice. Speaking of hearing the voice.
Oh, yeah. Was that Kara?
Yeah.
But there's also the thing that people can change. You know, they can change the way, you know, we're not set. We can flip into the completely opposite of what we are.
We're not, but they are, Howard. You know what I'm saying, brother?
They are.
Yeah, all of them. The little people.
It requires, though, getting it on a very deep level very often. And I had some patient might say rather vividly when she said, hey, she was an addict who'd been trying to get in recovery for a long time and finally just got it and just got in and was doing beautifully. And her thing was, how do you give somebody get it? You get somebody to want to make substantial change in who they are, because it's counterintuitive and actually fights against our basic instincts. And I'd love to know the answer to that.
Well, you're not going to.
How do you give somebody get it?
I know it, but I'm not going to tell you.
Thank you, Adam.
You'll never understand
it. Talk to Kara.
Kara?
Yeah?
Oh, you hear that voice?
Yeah. So Adam was going to profile you, just based on your voice.
You sound very nice to me, Kara.
Yeah, of course you do.
You're lovely.
Nothing to do with nice. I mean, it doesn't make her a bad person.
Yeah.
Daddy didn't pay attention.
No.
No. You listen, I'm doing the profiling here. You want to do your own profile? Do that in your own show. You do it with Carolla. I'm thinking Daddy was removed.
Go ahead.
Is that what you're going with, Drew?
No.
What the hell's up with you? There's something about her being Daddy's girl.
Maybe that's another way to go with this, but go ahead. You go that way, I'll go mine.
I'm going to say either Daddy didn't pay attention or Daddy was just removed real early. Like, may have even passed away when you were 12.
Okay.
Maybe 9.
Kara plays violin, piano, ice skates, ballet. Parents very involved. Leave it to Beaver, in fact.
Uh-huh.
And,
perfect family.
Yeah.
Which one of us is right?
I guess kind of both of you in a way. Adam, my dad, he's here, but I guess when I was growing up, he worked a lot. Yeah, but my family, it's pretty stable. It's a good family. As for like the ice skating, whatever, no, not really. I danced a little bit when I was little. I took piano for like a year, and that's really hard. It's nothing prolonged.
Ever have an eating disorder?
No.
We're not. This isn't panning out. Dad working a lot isn't it? Unless Dad really didn't pay attention to you.
To me, you sound very perfectionistic. Is that you?
Not, no.
No?
I don't like to...
You go out with older guys?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah, I knew it.
You don't do well in school?
I do okay.
All right, Drew, we're not getting anywhere
All right,
with that.
so what's your question is what to expect from therapy?
Yeah,
Expect it to be not what you expect. That's going to take a long time, and you got to hang with it for years.
Yeah, I remember Adam saying, like, maybe last week that you just go and you just talk and you're paying someone to listen to you, and I don't know if
You're paying somebody to remain empathically connected with you while you experience things in a new
It's funny that you pay them to do that.
In a relationship.
Meanwhile, prostitution's illegal.
It's a
You can't pay for a blowjob, but you can pay for some idiot to sit there in a bad cardigan and listen to you for
It's a relationship
50 minutes.
that is highly managed and sort of crafted by somebody who knows how to do that. And the things you experience in that relationship reveal things about yourself because you can no longer be yourself with another person the way you've learned how to be your whole life.
Okay.
So you develop feelings around that. The person remains empathic.
Why are you interested in going? Is there some overwhelming problem?
I would think so. I just have really bad anxieties, panic, nervousness, and it's just really, it's starting to get really bad. And
there are pharmacological and biological treatments for that, too. I mean, first of all, you should have a medical evaluation to make sure.
Actually, I'm on Paxil right now.
Which is one of the treatments for that.
It doesn't seem to really be doing anything.
Okay, but make sure medically there's not the thyroid disease or something else causing all this. And then there are many different ways to approach anxiety and panic biologically or pharmacologically, but and whoever's prescribing that ought to be able to refer you to a qualified therapist. I think the medicine and the therapy you don't do one or the other, you do both if you're going to do either.
All right. Drew?
Yep.
But isn't it when you take the pharmacological approach, isn't that sort of not really treating the root problem of things? Isn't that just like, the surface thing, and it doesn't
It's the symptom. It's the symptom, and it may not relieve the source, but that may not be the issue or even possible in many cases. And in the meantime, the issue may be just controlling the symptoms so she can continue functioning while she works on the source.
Yeah. I understand that, yeah. As long as the kind of main aim is to get to the real.
I happen to agree with you. I don't know that is the mainstream position, particularly the way that healthcare resources are being allocated right now. But yeah, I agree with you.
I'm going to the shrink tomorrow, everybody.
Oh.
I rescheduled.
Hallelujah.
I was supposed to go today, but we had to do the Howie Mandel show.
And do you believe that the your state of mind actually causes your body to, like, say, have a thyroidal problem, whatever like that? Because that's certainly what I feel.
Yeah, it's a complex area that I have no real expertise in, but clearly people with emotional disturbances have more medical conditions. And whether or not there's a direct causational relationship that particular emotional things cause particular kinds of medical problems, hard to say. But clearly people who are emotionally healthy are physically more healthy.
Okay.
And so the two things are totally linked.
Here's the deal. We are one organismic soup.
Yeah.
And the brain is an essential piece of that. And if that's not healthy, how can the whole idea...
Would you say that would be the potato?
But the whole
brain?
But that's not the common belief of most medicine, is it? As a doctor, you're unusual saying that.
Well, no, I think unfortunately our culture has come to some conclusion that a pill fixes everything, and that therefore holistic is about finding a pill that's not really a drug and finding some herb that does it. What's a load of crap? I mean, holism is really about the entirety of the human experience. That's holism, of which biology is an important part, pharmacology may be part, spiritualism, political, emotional. This is all figures into who we are and what our overall health is.
All right, I'm telling you, Howard, you're talking your way right out of getting your song played. I got to be brutally honest with you.
Let's play it now.
All right, let's do this. You got to sell a few CDs so you can buy some more of that holistic crap that doesn't work. And we'll do that, and then we can have this debate during the while we're playing it.
Yeah, I know. We are definitely.
All right, this one is called Tomorrow Is Now.
It's your experience.
Yeah, it is. All right, I think that song was good. We're talking about therapy the whole time, but I could hear it sort of in the background. It was like we were in a scene in a movie.
Tomorrow Is Now.
Except for the dialogue would have been more exciting.
Much.
Yeah. Like right now?
Let's go to commercial.
They'd edit this part right now?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Howard Jones is here. The new CD is called People. It's been out for a little while. You can find it. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And Drew and I are nowhere, but we'll be here in a few minutes.
Roger, you got yourself the Loveline. Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. We'll be right back.
glad you're here.
Loveline. What's up, man? We're back at 7. 94.7 NRK.
Hey, this is Fiona Apple, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, he is. Legendary artist Howard Jones is here, and he's got himself a new CD out. It's called People. You can find that everywhere. And it's the one with the pictures. It looks like a page of a yearbook.
Except it's they're ovals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, they're egg-shaped. They're not square-shaped.
Exactly, egg-shaped.
And the graduation dates range from 1972 to 1920.
Yeah.
Right, pre-Korea. All right. Rob.
Yeah.
You're 29.
Yeah.
You're on with Howard Jones.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Oh, very well, thanks.
Anyways, I appreciate you guys. I've only been listening to you guys for a couple of months, and at first I thought, this is just kind of like for kids, 16 years old, 15 years old. Oh, why should I be listening to this? But you guys are doing a good thing out there. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My comment or question was, I'm not quite sure how to put it, a little nervous or whatnot. I just wanted to say it. It's been like 6 years since I've been in a relationship. I just turned 29. I'm thinking, maybe there's something wrong with me. I go out with somebody and I think, I don't know, their hair's too long. They're, 5 pounds overweight.
What happened in your last relationship?
We were together for 4 years.
What happened?
And she went away to school. I went away to school. We just didn't...
Real bad breakup?
No, not at all. We, just both agreed that, we weren't in love with each other anymore. We wanted to go on with our ways. And I just figured, that's cool. Something else will come along soon enough.
And you didn't have any reaction to that? Didn't get depressed? Didn't have any...
Sure, of course. Yeah, I still...
Wait, Rob, you were just sloughing this all off like, oh, yeah.
Of course. I thought, of course I was hurt and everything. And, I went through the pain of it. First 2 years in college, I just, kind of threw myself at school. And,
Were you depressed the whole time?
Yeah. Yeah,
2 years of depression, Rob, in response to a breakup. That's not normal, okay?
Yeah.
So there's much, much more of a reaction here that you're willing to admit to yourself. And I suspect, I'm guessing, don't know, but that pain went much deeper than you even know, and that's preventing you from becoming vulnerable again.
Well, my parents broke up right during the, about a year after that, probably.
Yeah,
Mama took a cramp on you when you were little?
What's that?
Mama took a cramp on you?
No, Mom's cool. Dad left and stuck my mom with a whole bunch of bills. I was abused when I was a kid,
In what way?
Physically.
Yeah.
Who abused you, Dad?
Yeah.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
You see him anymore?
No, I haven't even spoken to him, actually, for probably about 3 years now. I just got a birthday card from him. That was kind of weird.
Do you get physically... Go ahead.
I was going to say, how do you actually feel about yourself? Do you feel good about it? Do you like yourself? Because I find when I start being very critical about other people, it's because I'm not liking something about myself.
Yeah,
and it comes out in the way that I view other people.
Yeah,
and
it's weird.
As soon as I address that, then suddenly I'm looking at people, in a good way again.
It's funny because you say that, because there's some people I look at and I'm just like, wow, I get almost overwhelmed by them, like how unique they are, how cool they are, or whatever. It's like, wow, I just want to be like them or whatnot. And then there's some people I'm just like, like you said, very critical of, and I'm sometimes like that about myself. There's some things, I know that I'm a real good person with some things, and then there's some other points about me that I just, hate. Just little things I'll just pick on myself about all
one of the jobs of being healthy is to be able to integrate all those parts of self into a constant fluid presence rather than compartmentalizing a good and a bad and all this kind of stuff. But can I ask something about Rob? Go ahead
and ask me, I'll tell you.
No, I'm going to ask him about where his physical violence gets expressed now. I mean, you've got have a lot of rage from being physically abused.
Taekwondo.
No, but
you want to
I've not brought this point up in a long time. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Rob?
Yeah.
How's that physical violence you suffered in the past manifest itself today?
I'm still working on it. I used to fight a lot. I used to get into a lot of fights. Only like up until I was like maybe 18, 19, 20. I've taken this whole peace thing now where I read Krishnamurti. I read a lot now. I try to relax myself. I take yoga. I jog.
That's good.
Beat the crap out of someone with the Leo Biscaglia book.
Yeah, racquetball. Whatnot.
In your relationships, what happens? Women.
One-night stands, one date, a couple of times.
Are you into anything, any funky stuff?
No, not at all. No, I was actually, I practiced celibacy for 2 years just so I could get myself, try to figure out who I am for a couple of years, actually.
That's kind of funky right there. but
I'm going with, that's a form of funky.
Is it?
Yeah.
Usually it'll come out sexually when kids have been physically
No, because
abused.
I figured I didn't want to hurt anybody else. Why bring anybody else into this?
But the instinct, the desire to do something kind of funny is often there, usually there in kids that are physically abused.
No, when my girlfriend and I were together, we had great sex. There was nothing funky ever. It was just, straight up sex all the time.
Okay.
But no, nothing funky. I'm not into that at all.
All right. Well, listen, you just keep working on it. I don't know. That sounds trite. Listen, I don't care. It's getting late. I'm tired now.
All right, here's the deal. He is finding creative ways to deal with the rage. He understands he needs to be vulnerable again. He's got some heavy issues, but he needs to really find some people of quality and open up. Find a friend first. Really use your friends in order to meet other people who are of the similar.
He's on the right path.
He is on the right path.
Yeah, because you can. Because you can express it to us, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I was still miserable when I was 29. He can suffer for another few months. Lisa.
Yeah.
You're 18.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Okay, you and Drew seem to talk about how masturbation doesn't usually start until about 13 years old.
In men.
And men, what about in women?
Women sometimes report it beginning a lot earlier, but it's
earlier.
5, 6, that sort of thing.
So that's normal.
Not with the vibrator, Lisa.
Well, no.
I mean,
no.
It's within the range. It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
It doesn't.
But you sound awfully anxious. That means more to me than the age of onset.
Uh-huh.
Why? What's up?
Well, no, I was just wondering about that because some of my earliest memories are of masturbating, and I would even bring, like when I would have fantasies, I would even bring like cartoons,
Getting porked by Porky Pig?
No, Prince Charming.
Aquaman or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really filled out those Speedos or whatever he wore there. Talking to the shellfish and whatnot.
Are you worried about it? Something else about this? There's something else there that might...
Well, I was just wondering because I don't know. I was just wondering if there's any way, because, if I was, maybe molested or something. No, I don't think I was, but, it's I was wondering if, there's suppressed memories and if there's something fishy going on, it wasn't
Is there anything
normal.
else to lead us to believe that sort of thing is happening? Your relationship's a mess now?
No, everything's fine. Well, the first time I had sex, I wanted to, and then the next day, it was the first experience I ever had of, feeling dirty.
How old were you?
I was 15.
Really young.
All right, let's just assume that you weren't molested. Can you do that?
Yeah.
And that you experimented, and just because you involved Tarzan in your fantasies, it's okay?
Uh-huh.
Did your parents force a bunch of half-baked religious notions down your throat?
My mom, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's it. That's all this. I always tell people is sort of indoctrinated into retarded religious ideology at a young age. They feel guilty. They're not sure why. They just know they feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought about cartoons. I touch myself. I feel really dirty. Huh? What's going on? Wait a minute. Some religion. Yeah, that's what religion does. Here's what religion is good for. It doesn't make you feel guilty enough not to do whatever it is it's trying to make you not to do. It just makes you feel really bad after you did it. Which now you're screwed coming and going now.
To do more of it.
Now you're
Beat
doing
yourself
it,
up. Yeah.
and you feel like trash. Drew, this poor person's been on hold. Dan's been on hold for 120 minutes.
Oh, no.
Dan?
Yeah.
Girlfriend's pregnant. He wants a blood test to determine the parenthood.
Right.
All right, you don't think it's yours?
Well, no. Most likely it is mine. But about 3 weeks before...
Boy. Dan, we are so out of time. This is horrible. I feel like an idiot, but I blame my partner, Drew, because he was staring at the screen the whole night and he didn't get to you.
Hey, no problem.
No, wait a minute. Don't let him off the hook that easily.
All right.
All right, we'll be fast.
Okay.
Fast as we can.
Okay.
Another guy's having sex with your girlfriend.
No, about 3 weeks before the time that we think she got pregnant, she was date raped. We don't talk anymore. She hates me pretty much, but there's got to be communication because I want to be involved, but I don't. It's hard enough for me to talk to her, but to ask her to have a blood test is like,
Is she assuming it's yours?
She's right now. I told her to assume it's mine.
Assume it's yours. And why did you tell her that? I mean, why didn't you say, listen, let's...
I told her that we were going to have blood tested, but it never came up again, and now it's gone overboard where she's assuming it's mine.
And she already has a kid?
No.
This is her first kid?
This is first.
And she wants to have this kid?
Yeah, she's very religious.
Very religious, even though it may be the product of a date rape.
Right.
Maybe you can refuse to put your name down as the father until you know for sure.
What happened to her before the date rape? Was she raped before that?
Sure.
Before we when we were going out, she was.
Yeah.
She's got a big history.
Of sexual abuse.
Has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But her dad did something to her or something?
She didn't even have a dad.
Right. Okay.
Her mom passed away at an early age.
Okay, Dan, this is... it kills me to think that this person would be raising somebody else. Well, the full-time job they need to work on is raising themselves.
Hey, we talked to
at
one
this
of
point.
them. Robert, the mom with the cerebellar degeneration and stuff.
Right. And I swear to God, and I know this sounds horrible, but we do not talk to a woman who is raped after the age of 10 that wasn't raped before the age of 10. I don't know what it is. I know it sounds like a horrible statement, but every time she was date raped, I knew she was raped. I knew that somebody in her family did something to him, because when that didn't happen to them, and they're on the date, and the guy starts reaching down their pants, that's it. They're out of the car. They're out. There's something about that does it. Yeah,
kind of rape.
Listen, anybody can pull a gun out and a knife out and drag someone in the bushes, and that's completely out of your control. But we don't talk to them. Anyway, all right, we'll be back.
Loveline will be right back.
Loveline 39 kilowatts.
Oh my, it's Loveline.
94.7 NRK.
Loveline. Howard Jones is and was our guest.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it very much. I've learnt a lot tonight.
Thank you.
Great.
We've had a good time with you.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome to come back anytime you like.
I would love to.
Yeah, don't wait 16 years this time.
No, okay.
There's no way I'm going to be doing this gig in 16 weeks. I may not be here. People's the name of the Howard Jones CD. It sounded good from the two cuts I heard, and so I'm guessing that's just the
tip of the iceberg.
Small sample.
Right. Yes, it's an omen of good things. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline.